Well, you should just turn it on in case we do talk to you. You're listening to the Dollop, a bilingual American history
on the
podcast.
All Things Comedy Network.
We're on the All Things Comedy Network, where each week I, wearer of watches, man who likes sandwiches, lover of cheese, Dave Anthony reads a story.
Quite a picture you've painted of yourself there.
From American history.
Wow.
To a guy I know.
Named Gareth Reynolds, who has no idea what the topic is going to be about. Hey, congrats on that cheese. That's quite a credit. In Wisconsin, you could have your own theater.
You guys have so much cheese that you put wet cheese in a bag and pretend like it's good.
I'm sorry, if you're trying to hurl curd accusations this way,
it's not a curd accusation.
Save it for a better battle.
Save
it for a battle you can win.
Reality. It's a cheese reality.
What's your problem? You don't like
It's fucking disgusting.
You don't like a watery cheese?
Not in a bag.
You've never played pool cheese?
Is your whole
where
country
you throw pieces of cheese in the pool and then you eat it like Pac-Man?
Is your whole country like a carnival? Like, why the fuck would
country,
you walk
do you
around
mean
with
state?
Why would you walk around with bag cheese?
Is your whole state a country? Get your head out of your ass. You don't know what a state is, you don't know what a country is, and you sure as fuck don't know what's good about cheese. It was meant to be in water. It was discovered in water.
And called it, quote, his jam pad.
Jam pad?
I'm the fucking hippo guy!
Dave, okay.
My name's Gary.
My name's Gary.
Wait.
Is it for fun?
And this is not going to become the Tiggly podcast.
Okay.
This is like anarchy!
On a 5-part coefficient.
My rules of play!
Now hit him with the puppy.
You both present sick arguments.
No sleep till hippo!
No sleep till hippo!
Action part.
Hi, Gary.
No.
Nicely done, my friend.
There you go.
So we did that. That was really aggressive.
Well, I mean, you picked a wound that you should not that doesn't need picking. Cheese curds.
As long as we understand it's a wound.
Yeah. Huh?
You just described cheese curds as a wound.
No, I didn't. I described you. No, it's a.
We're brought to you in part by Keeps. Look, dudes lose their hair. Some guys are fine with it. A lot of guys are not fine with it. It's a bummer. Your hair, you always had it. Now it's going away.
Sure.
2 out of 3 men are going to get some form of hair loss by the time they're 35. You, for instance. More than 50 million men in the U.S. suffer from male pattern baldness.
Sure. Thank you.
And now at this point, there's only 2 FDA-approved medications that can prevent hair loss. And guess what? Keeps offers both.
Nice.
Keep it, man.
All 2.
Look, Keeps offers a simple, stress-free way to keep your hair. I would like to keep my hair. Would you like to keep your hair?
I keep your hair in a bag in my desk.
Convenient virtual doctor consultations. Medications come straight to your door, delivered every 3 months. Like, it's too super easy. It's secret. It's easy.
Sure.
You get to keep your hair. People want their hair.
Sure.
It's low cost. You can get treatment started at just $10 a month. They got generic versions, discreet packaging. I guess it comes in like it looks like golf balls.
Yeah. Titleists.
And it has more than 5-star reviews than any other competitor. So, and look, with male pattern baldness, if you're trying to keep your hair, it's prevention that you want to. You want to get it before it gets too bad.
Right.
And treatments can take up to 4 to 6 months. So jump on it now if it's worrying you. And I'm all for whatever makes you feel better. That's my call.
Yeah.
Right.
You've always been very. Yes. That's always been how you've been. Very open. You always, go ahead. 3, 2.
If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/dollop to get to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's keeps.com/dollop to get your first month free. keeps.com/dollop.
Yeah.
We're also brought to you in part by Squarespace.
Our baby.
Look, our baby. We've been working with Squarespace for years. It's a domain, website, online store, marketing tool, analytic company. They do everything. It's from websites to online stores. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. We here at the Dollop, we're all in on Squarespace. We got our dolloppodcast.com where you can look at our tour information. We got Gareth's webpage, comedy webpage, mine. We got our sources page, all Squarespace. Why? Because Squarespace is very easy to use. Like you say, you can do everything with one shot there, and it makes it so much easier. And then it looks nice. The templates, clean, smooth. They look really good.
You're in the game.
You're in the game.
You're finally in the game.
And you can go in and mess around with the template, see how it looks, see if it works for you, and then if you like it, you sign up. You jump on board. That's what I did. I went and played around with it. I was like, oh, this is exactly what I want. Super easy, 24/7 award-winning support. So, look, man, I'm telling you, get on board with Squarespace. Check out squarespace.com/Dollop for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code Dollop to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Mm-hmm. We're also brought to you in part by a Squarespace.
We just did Squarespace.
Sorry, we're also brought to you in part by Stamps.com.
Yes.
Much better. I've been using Stamps.com for a while now. It makes things super easy. Why? Because I have a little scale now that they sent me. You just plug it in your computer. You put your box on it, whatever you want. Up comes the postage price. You print it up. You slap that baby on the package. Put it outside.
Boom.
Postman comes and gets it.
Game
or post
over.
lady. Or post binary.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do.
Yes. Post non-binary. Yes.
If you don't want to go to the post office, some people are like, I don't want to make that trip. I don't want to deal with the post office. It's sad because Sylvia's there and she's very nice, but I'm not seeing her anymore.
Where are the people?
She's very confused.
I don't understand anymore.
There
used to be hustle and bustle.
It's not anymore. It's
now there's
all
nothing.
Stamps.com.
Yeah.
You can send letters, ship packages. You pay less. You pay a lot less. They got discounted rates from USPS and UPS. And tons of businesses use Stamps.com. Everyone's doing this. You get up to 40% discounts on the post office and up to 66 off UPS shipping rates. UPS, of course, the good company because they're unionized. So look, Stamps.com is a no-brainer, saving you time and money. It's no wonder nearly 1 million small businesses use them, including Gareth Reynolds.
That's right.
Who's a business.
Gareth.
So stop wasting time, go to the post office and go to Stamps.com instead. There's no risk. And with our promo code Dollop, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Dollop at Stamps.com. Promo code Dollop, Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we are brought to you by Ultimate Ears. Now, I've been a big AirPod guy for a while.
Yes.
I enjoy the Bluetooth no cord situation.
I also enjoy it.
You do.
But I've
took you a lot longer to get on board.
Well, I've just recently really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So I'm always looking for a better one. And then these things came. They sent us each a pair because they're like, do you want to work with us? And we said, well, why don't you send us a thing and we'll let you know.
Yeah, I don't think there was any tension in any way that you're kind of making.
And send it right.
Okay.
So we get the Ultimate Ears, the fits. And I put them in my ears and I'm like, well, these things don't feel great. What is this? And then I look at the directions. You bring up an app and you connect it to your ear, your little earpiece. And then it gets hot in your ear.
Yes. And you're like, oh, my time is here.
What?
I'm dying.
What is happening? And then you realize it's
crazy.
Slightly molding
Nobody
the plastic
told
to your
me
ears.
that this technology, that we were there.
I had no idea.
Technologically, I was like, well, we're not there. And then in your ear, this thing is heating up, molding itself, and you're going, wait, so my phone is heating my headphones?
It's
my earpods.
And then they fit so good.
Yes, then it's perfect. Then you have ear gloves.
Yeah, it's amazing at that point. It's a whole new experience. It is. I mean, people say this kind of, oh, it's a new experience in this thing.
They don't
this
know what
really
they're talking
is.
about anymore.
This really is a brand new.
This is a new experience.
It's a whole new level of earbuds or earpods or whatever you want to call them. Earbuds, I think they would be called.
Sure.
So I cannot recommend it enough. They sound amazing because they fit so good. You listen to whatever you want, music. You got your phone calls going on there.
Yeah, anything you listen
working
to.
out, whatever you want to do. Things, music.
We don't need to get specific. People know that you can listen to those things.
Podcasts.
Again, we don't need the list. So
like I said, they're the most comfortable earbuds, premium sound, super comfortable. It takes like 60 seconds for them to.
You want it to go longer though.
You do.
You're like, don't end.
8 hours of playback on a charge, up to 20 hours with the charging case. So it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Like I can't say how wonderful enough it is.
Listen to you.
So if you try Fits and you don't love them as much as Gareth and I do, Ultimate Ears offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, plus you'll get free shipping, free returns, and a 1-year warranty. So look, for a limited time, get 15% off your pair of Ultimate Ears Fits true wireless earbuds at ue.com/fits. Use promo code Dollop at checkout. That's 15% off with promo code Dollop at ue.com/fits.
Join us. And also join us on some live shows we'll be doing. You can go to dolloppodcast.com for ticket information to all these shows I'm about to say. The September 14th, we'll be at Wise Guys in Las Vegas. The 16th, Wise Guys Salt Lake City. High Plains Comedy Festival, Saturday, September 18th in Denver at the Paramount Theater. Wednesday, September 22nd, we're at Stand Up Live in Phoenix. Friday, November 5th, Palace of the Fine Arts, San Francisco. November 6th, Crest Theater, Sacramento. And December 10th, we will be at the Observatory in North Park in San Diego. And for those of you who haven't heard, our Australia tour is postponed.
What?
Let's talk after, babe. Nothing to worry about. Everything's fine.
No.
I keep Dave in a room of pillows where no bad news permeates. I will also be doing some stand-up comedy. September 10th and September 11th, I will be at the Stress Factory in New Jersey. Like I said, we'll be there for that. Caroline's. Oh, we just announced this. I'll be at Caroline's headlining in New York City. That's where they make the good salsa. That's September 24th, September 25th. Caroline's. 2 shows a night at 7 and 9:30. You can go to my website, GarethReynolds.com, for information on all this. Then I'll also be at the Stress Factory in Bridgeport, Connecticut, October 1st and October 2nd. Join me.
Check you out.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on, kid.
Hey. Kids.
When will you get COVID?
I have a bunch of it. Tons of it. It's fine.
Aaron, I'm going to send you a couple of photos.
Ooh.
How do I get this?
CC me on that.
No.
Okay.
Okay, now we got that going. We got the whole. I got a whole operation here. I got a computer. I got an iPad. I got a couple of.
I feel like you're looking for tornadoes.
That's
the vibe you give
I'm always looking for tornadoes.
You just need like one of those vests with lots of pockets.
They call me looking for tornadoes, Dave.
Yeah, that's right.
Or tornado.
Tornado? I'm not into it. Please stop laughing. Please stop talking.
Okay, well, it's going to be a weird podcast.
I think it'll be great. I got a good feeling.
But understandable.
Yeah.
I like how people have been like, they sound so much happier when they're in the studio as opposed to on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's better. It's a better
Yeah,
experience.
it turns out when you're trying to do comedy improv together, it helps to be in the same room.
The timing, the no lag in time helps.
Yeah, it really does when you're
look at
pausing
you.
to see if the other guy's saying something.
I'm going to get you something to place your iPad on.
I
got my mother a thing that we call Flippy, which is a little pillow she puts her iPad on. She loves it. I got one for my aunt too. Loves it. I'm going to get you a Flippy because you're over here balancing it on water.
Am I going to bring a pillow into the studio, though? Is that what we're asking?
No, you're going to bring Flippy into the studio.
Yeah, but it's a pillow.
It's a Flippy. Stop. I'm not going to do
You
Flippy.
just said it was a pillow.
I
iPad pillow.
described the body type of Flippy to you. It's pillowy. Doesn't mean Flippy's a pillow.
It does.
Flippy's... Okay, you know what? Fuck you. You're not getting it. I tried. He's not getting a Flippy. I was going to get him a Flippy. Done.
I see it. Yeah, it's a pillow. This.
Let's just start, please. I'm not going to...
It's a pillow.
I'm about to Flippy you off.
It's shaped like a
Flippy.
Like it holds something, but it's a pillow.
Yes, it's shaped like a Flippy.
Right, it's an iPod pillow.
Stop it. It's an iPad pillow, first of all. Owned. You don't have a leg to stand on. September 4th, 13/12.
I love when everything gets so hot and spicy like this before we start.
Yeah, people are like, we sound so much happier.
1958, year of our Lord Jesus Christ. Jesus Cristo.
Okay, sure.
Jeffrey Edward Fowle was born in Winter Park to parents Edward and Virginia.
Okay.
Now, Edward was in the Air Force.
Okay.
At an Air Force base there in Florida. And then he was transferred to a base outside Dayton, Ohio when Jeffrey was young.
Okay.
So that's where Jeffrey grew up in Ohio. They built a house in nearby Beaver Creek,
Sure.
which I'm sure in which all of the beavers have been killed.
I think there's a Beaver Creek in every Midwest
There has to be.
state.
Yeah.
Beaver Dam or Creek.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or Beaverton.
Sure. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Something where they're like,
Because-
this is where the beavers were.
There were a lot of beavers here. We killed them all. Now we have coats.
We got a bunch of beaver over here, so we named this whole town Beavertown, and nobody's done anything like this, except for the other 7 states that surround us, basically.
Where can I see the beavers now?
Well, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see much of that. What you're going to do is it's a regular town now. It used to be riddled with beavers, but not anymore because, many reasons. But mainly, we were looking to open about like 30 houses that look identical. So we opened like 30 houses that have like minor tweaks to them for the most part. But so there's no beavers. But some people say at night, if you listen closely, you can hear their screams.
Why are they screaming?
Because they were murdered callously by us. Yeah, in order to take over the area.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so...
And you still kept the name, though.
well, of course we did. What are we going to do? Change it? What are we going to call it? Houseville? It sounds like everywhere else. No, but some people say if you close your eyes, you will see an apparition of a beaver and he will haunt you perpetually.
I don't want to live here.
Yeah, no, a lot of people... it's because we don't have a gym.
So the family regularly went to St. Mark's Episcopal Church. That was their church.
Good.
But then Edward started having like a wandering religious eye. He's checking out other religions.
Oh, okay. I thought this was going to be like he was thinking of sleeping around, but no, he's...
No, he's sleeping out with other churches.
So yeah, right. No, he's the deity bachelor.
That's right.
I'm open.
Hey, what's going on over there with baptism? What's up?
I had a great time with you the other night. I'm just hopeful that you would love to be a part of this because it's really good.
I would love
I know that
to,
you and
yeah.
Lutherans have been talking, and
Yeah,
I
we've been
appreciate that
chatting, but I
connection.
don't have the same kind of hotness
agree.
that I have for you.
I
Like
agree.
With you, I want to take you upstairs and just rip everything off.
Oh,
and
I'm
just
wetter than a bowl you'd put a baby in.
then I'm gonna get super Baptist right now. You know
Great.
what I mean?
That's great.
Fucking holding snakes and shit.
That's sorry. That's excuse me. I think you're talking about us.
What's that?
I think you're talking about us. That is not. They do not do that. That's what we do. We're Pentecostal. Hey, what's up? Let's get crazy.
I get so confused when it gets to the snakes.
Well,
'cause
I'm the
everybody's
snake one.
Got a snake thing.
I'm the snake one.
Right, so what are we doing? Are we fucking?
Well, sure, we will after the venom courses through us. And that's how we know that our connection to the Lord is strong. You don't need to put your hand up. You're in charge of the show.
I have the venom.
Well, yeah. Well, I think
Technically.
I think I'm...
From a biblical perspective.
So, here's what's happening.
Go ahead.
You're talking about your trouser snake.
Yeah.
I'm talking about actual venomous snakes that we'll put onto our arms and necks. And then when they bite us, we'll be okay. Because if there's one thing that this particular religion gets rid of, it's poison from bodies.
So I just wanted to fuck until I had an orgasm. That was my sort of...
Totally in the cards for us.
Okay.
After the snakes have their way.
Can we cut the snake part
Absolutely
out?
not.
You know, there's another religion over here. I'm going to go check out my Lutherans over here.
Hey! We're pretty similar, but sort of crazy.
So he gets into this church called the Worldwide Church of God.
There we go.
And the reason it was worldwide is because the guy who started it used TV and radio to get to people all over the world.
Okay.
Commercials and
Sure.
radio stations.
Sure.
So the religion was based on the Old Testament and British Israelism, which said that whites of Britain were descended from King David.
Okay, sure. I mean...
Pretty specific.
Of course. And why would it not be? Of course, again, I mean, there we are. It's just...
Hey, we're British whites. We gotta have something really fucking awesome.
I
right?
like the idea that if there is God, she put us down here and basically made our skin Star Trek uniforms. And so we're a tiered world of people who are like, whites are the captains, and we're in charge. We're the whites. We're the Picards.
We had a board meeting, our school board meeting yesterday, and 3 dudes called up to discuss CRT, critical race theory.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
None of whom are parents in the district.
Oh, my God.
Just random white bros.
Hey, so I just don't want my kids to live near any other schools that are teaching it.
One guy's from Orange County. He's like, I might move there.
Orange County?
Yeah, can you believe that?
Shocking.
Yeah. So I'm going to have a rebuttal in the next meeting.
I can't
and
wait.
It's going to be
can't.
tremendous. So Edward dives into his new church.
Okay.
They're not the same rules as a lot of other religions. And no Christmas, so he bans the family from enjoying
Always
Christmas.
goes over well with children.
Instead,
Santa's a lie, and even if he wasn't, he's dead.
So instead, they were just going to celebrate New Testament celebration
And that's fun,
days.
too.
Yeah,
fun.
those are the best.
That's fun.
So then in late 1967, he takes the kids out of school one day and drives to the Poconos,
I like this religion.
where they celebrated the Feast of the Tabernacles,
Sure. Yep.
which we all know.
Yeah, it's a big one.
I think Jewish people celebrate that, but I'm not really. But anyway.
Well, that's what's great about this religion. It's a bit of a potpourri. It's
That's
like
right.
a charcuterie plate of God.
What? What's this shirt?
It's when you eat different pieces of shark with cheese. Which reminds me, the best kind of cheese. Hey, it's me from earlier.
It's not good.
Okay, I'll go away.
So this trip did not go over too well. One son, Jamie, ran through a window and cut his eyelids open. I read that 4 times.
He ran through a window
When
and he's...
I read this story.
Well, blinking ain't in the boys' cards anymore. That's fine.
How do you, because it sounds like he didn't cut the eyes. He just cut the eyelids open.
You're in for, there's a lot of, there's going to be some dehydration because you need moisture in there. So if you have problems with your lids, I don't think it's not great. It's one of those things we take advantage, like we just take for granted all the time, where it's like
eyelids.
Our eyelids are constantly like, there you go, that'll keep the eye going, and we're like, God, something in my eye.
Yeah.
But all day it's like perfect. You lose those, it's not great.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah.
So
He's got what's called clockwork orangitis
or Rockyitis.
or Rockyitis.
So another daughter, Lynn, while they were in the Poconos, came down with pneumonia. So not a great trip. Maybe this religion has given us some red flags.
I believe that a good religion challenges you.
Okay. So when that was over, Virginia is just done with Edward's new bullshit religion, and she goes back to St. Mark's.
Okay.
So, well,
With the kids.
with 2 kids.
Okay.
So the leader of the Worldwide Church.
I'll keep the eyelids here.
So the leader of the Worldwide Church now tells his flock that they could either serve God or the government.
Oh my gosh.
Now
Well,
Edward's in the Air Force. So he leaves the Air Force.
Wow.
And he'd been a member for 13 years. Any pension he built up is gone. But then he goes back to work on the base as a private consultant. So he's doing the same fucking job without the benefits. God
hates
made
benefits.
him get rid of the benefits. God hates benefits. Yeah, people don't realize that.
So weird how God's like that.
God hates benefits.
Healthcare should be attached to your job. Yes, Lord, we understand. It is confusing and seems like you're adding far too many layers, but we shall disperse your language, sir.
Pensions are for Satanists.
Okay, certainly strange. People love security nets, but understandable.
Your eye care plan is bullshit.
You said eye care plan?
That's right.
Okay. I guess a lot of us didn't know we had an eye care plan, so...
And you no longer have Delta Dental.
Oh, come on. Our teeth are terrible. Well, is there still a copay?
There's no copay because you don't have it. It's gone. It's a benefit. Christ, no likey.
Hey, that's just James in a tree. Get him.
I'm your boss. So the family's split now. Like I said, 2 kids
Like
are
an eyelid.
2 kids are going with Virginia to
Right.
St. Mark's. 2 other kids
And
are going with Dad to the Worldwide Church. Well, which Jeffrey is one of those.
Jeffrey's
Jeffrey's
with
with
Dad. Good. Go with this guy. I like him. I like the vibe.
But then when he turns 12, he's like, I'm done. I'm done. Jeffrey's done with churches. He's like, I'm out.
Okay.
So he stops going to church completely. But he's still religious. And in high school, Jeffrey's in the photo and chess clubs and also the Bible club. So
It's
he's
amazing.
fun.
Like, but it's like, it's also like, It just shows you how wrong his dad. Like his dad was just making terrible decisions because he's like, "Look, Dad, I love God and religion. You're just fucking it all up."
Yeah,
He's
you know
like,
you're going with the crazy shit.
Yeah,
Dad's
yeah,
going with the crazy shit.
yeah.
What about God, but without the fun shit like Christmas?
I mean, really.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, what's great is even if you don't go to church, you can really celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, you can knock that shit out of the park.
Otherwise, there's a war on it.
Wow. So
Biden's pulling out the troops from the war on Christmas. You hear?
I did not.
Yeah.
So a neighbor said that Jeffrey was nerdy, quiet, but friendly.
Okay.
Now, the Cold War is really happening now, and Jeffrey becomes very fascinated with communist countries.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
And he starts obsessively reading about the Soviet Union,
Okay.
as all kids do.
Yes,
It's
of course.
Very, normal.
Yeah, it's awesome.
After high school, he goes to the Agricultural Institute of Ohio, and while he was there, he took Russian classes.
Okay.
So he's learning how to speak Russian.
Uh-huh.
And then one night in
Here we
college, he has a dream.
Oh, boy. Jeffrey, it is I, your best friend.
Hey, it's a god. What's up?
I'm Russian.
Oh,
Lord is Russian. You not know? Your
No.
picture with American accent? It's so westernized for you to imagine that God have your accent. What the ego you have, huh?
a what?
Ego you have. Do you know there's a God Junior? He's
Eagle?
a bear.
Eagle?
Huh?
We do have an eagle. We're eagle. This is an eagle country. I mean,
No,
we're
no,
super-
not eagle. Eagle.
eagle.
Eagle.
Eagle.
No, eagle. Like, oh Christ, what noise eagle make? Hey, oh, really great.
So he has this dream when he's in college, and in the dream, he's looking down on this revival that's happening in this valley.
Sure.
And he's not liking them, and he's saying bad things about them. And then behind him, he hears, quote, "Don't make fun of them. They are sincere in what they do." Obviously, that's God.
Mm-hmm.
Who else would be behind you talking?
Mm-hmm.
It's only one
For sure.
thing.
Yeah.
So after God says that, a mist comes. And Jeffrey's like, well, I'm being cleansed.
Okay.
Because that's all.
A
That's the only
dream
reason.
mist?
Yeah, it's a dream mist.
I think he's ejaculating. I've had this
It's-
before. It's a wet dream.
No.
Oh, no?
Why does it have to be dirty? It's just a guy having an amazing religious
Okay,
experience.
so he's having a misty. No, I don't.
It's just a guy wet.
That's just normally when I wake up and I go, oh no.
Well, he did wake up and his pillow was soaked with tears.
Yes. Oh, tears. Okay, never mind.
So now Jeffrey's like, well, clearly God has a plan for me.
Sure.
What else would you take away from that?
Maybe that's the kid without the eyelids. He's been walking around and it's like,
Could be that.
yeah. Okay, that's very specific. All right, I get
Yep.
it.
So now, this had a big impact on him, and he graduates with a degree in agriculture in 1983, and he gives away everything he owns.
Hey.
He's got some stuff he keeps in his car, but he gives away everything, and then he packs what he can into his 88 Rambler.
I think he just needed to like room for the car, but he was like, I'm being magnanimous.
So he's got an 88 Rambler Ambassador.
Oh,
I don't even know what that is. I know
you
what a
don't need to-
Rambler
you know what
is.
it is. We know the exact. It's a gremlin.
Yeah, I know, but was it always a Rambler Ambassador?
Oh, I don't have any idea what kind of car this is. I'm just picturing a gremlin. It has to be like. I feel like every car
Aaron's-
from them was basically a gremlin.
Aaron's going to find a picture of it. But I wonder if there's different Rambler types or whatever.
Right.
So he packs what he has left.
Okay.
And he drives across the country to Death Valley.
Great. Yeah, that's where
This is
you,
just what you do.
for sure. It's where you go.
So if people don't know what Death Valley is, it's the hottest
It's
fucking
just
place.
a cool, chill place to live and raise a family
That's
and not
right.
worry about
That's
stuff.
right. It's
Yeah.
you're away from everything.
Do you want to fry an egg in your hand?
Yeah.
Well, there's your spot.
I can give you a great example of how hot Death Valley is. I went there when I was like 23 or something, and I was driving around with my hands on the steering wheel, and I didn't realize, but my knuckles were cooking through the windshield,
You're
and
like,
then
oh,
they were like all hardened
I
and
could go for
cooked.
some tri-tip. The hell? My hand.
So he gets to Death Valley and he drives to a canyon.
Smart. By the way, that's where you want to be in Death Valley.
Oh.
Get down.
Can't go better.
Yeah.
He parks his car,
Okay.
and then he writes a note, and he puts it under the windshield wiper, and the note says, whoever finds his car can keep it. And he takes the title out of the glove box and puts it under the windshield wiper too.
Jesus.
And then he walks off into the Canyon, Death Valley.
Sure. Okay.
It's all also. Did I tell? It's called Death Valley for a reason. It's
because
not,
you die there.
Yeah.
It's so hot and
That's right.
barren that you'll die there.
That's right.
Right.
So what he's thinking of was Christ's fast for 40 days.
You know, that makes sense. A lot of people said that was basically the ambassador of fasting. So
Are you talking about the Rambler ambassador?
the Rambler ambassador, absolutely.
So
Has anyone seen the ambassador? No, but that's just how he is.
So he doesn't eat for 4 days.
Okay.
All he has with him is a bedroll. I assume
A bedroll?
A bedroll. I assume he had water, but
What's a bedroll? Like a little thing, a little mat to
I mean,
sleep
I would
on?
describe it as like a yoga mat these
Okay,
days.
right,
Like it's
right,
almost like
right.
that sort of version
Right.
of things. He must have had water, or he was staying near because there are places where there is water, like where the pupfish are and stuff,
Sure.
but not a lot of water.
Right.
So anyway, he walks around for 4 fucking days. He was running into other people who were also on like spiritual walks. Like it's a
We're dying. We're also dying.
I can't find my car. Yeah. It's kind of a spiritual walk, but more I just want to get to my Honda.
4 of my friends died on my walk.
So he walks around for 4 days without eating, and then on the 5th day, just like Christ, Jeffrey goes back to his car.
Yeah, just like Jesus did.
Yes. And there, the note has been removed. It was
Cars there?
The Rangers found the car, and they're like, "Hey, man, you can't just fucking leave a car out here and just say people can have it." And they'd taken the title and put it back in the glove compartment.
Crazy. I feel like that would not be done now.
No,
I feel like people would be like,
no,
fuck
they
it.
would tow it in a fucking
Yeah,
city.
it'd just be like, how do we make money?
So obviously, this is an amazing spiritual adventure, and
Obviously.
he stays in California for a little while after that, working odd jobs, and then heads back to Ohio and moves in with his parents,
Okay.
who are somehow still married.
Right.
And Jeffrey then decides to take the officer's exam for the Air Force.
Okay.
Like his dad was a pilot, but he has bad eyesight and he can't do it. And they're like, "What about working in other part navigation or whatever?" And so he goes, "Okay," and he goes to Texas to take the officer's training program.
Okay.
Immediately funks out.
Okay. Good. Good.
In 1988, he takes a job with the street department in Moraine, Ohio,
Okay.
clearing snow in the winter and fixing, cracks and whatever in the summer.
Okay.
It's a dream job.
Sure. Sure.
What you do with an agricultural degree?
Yeah. Yeah. You go to the streets.
You street. You
Yep.
start. Yeah. You
Street
plow.
cleaning. Yep.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
and then put tar.
We've got a
over.
good haul of tar. This good harvest of tar.
On the job application, he had written that he was familiar with Spanish, German, and Russian, and that he had a pilot's license.
Okay.
Around
I
this,
mean, is that just basically?
I don't know. I couldn't find any. It's something he said, so
Right.
who knows?
Right.
Around this time, he decided he wanted to start traveling and to see, quote, the dark corners of the world. Now, I'm more of like, hey, what's Hawaii like? What's Costa Rica like?
Where shouldn't I go? Have a list of those. I put in Trivago. I didn't find anything. Places not visit. Where should I? Where's it tough to see?
What's really bad?
Where do people hate?
I want to go to a place that's really, really awful.
I need a place where I want to leave. I'm just trying to appreciate my bed.
Do you have anything that'll make me just cry the whole time I'm there and feel dread?
How can I live in the ocean?
So he sees a commercial for tours of the Soviet Union
Huh.
and then books a trip to
Do you
let
imagine
it.
seeing those commercials now?
I know, I just can't.
And
I
all
also
the
can't
Red
imagine. I mean, I wish if you weren't around then, how fucking crazy the right wing was
Yeah.
about like
Russia,
Russia and Reagan out of his fucking mind.
Right.
So the fact that there were ads on that you could go there is
Yeah.
amazing.
Really weird.
So he goes to Leningrad, Moscow.
Sick of Reagan? Come to Russia. Show people around. It's not that bad.
See the good.
Look at all these things. Way better than your shithole. Huh?
What?
Your shithole. Come to Russia. Learn about Adidas finally. After dinner, I did the shit. That's what Adidas stand for. Come to Russia, baby.
I
Number
don't,
one country.
I don't
How
like-
many songs Beatles write about your shithole? Exactly. Come to Russia. Best place on earth. Mother Russia. Do you want to feed beer to a bear? It's possible.
No.
Sky's limit. Come on.
None of this is stuff.
You want blue jeans that rip?
that what?
That rip?
That reap?
Yes.
Like the Grim Reaper reap?
Well, sure, whatever you want. Just get in bus. Come on, fuckface. We don't have all day.
I'm scared.
Get in the goddamn bus.
Okay, I'm going to Russia. Why are we taking a bus to Russia?
He's fine. Don't worry. We're going to Russia, New Jersey.
It doesn't make any sense.
Shut your fucking
What?
mouth. You are all prisoners.
What the fuck just happened?
This is Con Air, but Russia and bus.
Con
and
Air is
Jersey.
worse than Russia.
What? What movie are you watching?
So he goes to Leningrad, Moscow, totally fine, and he goes to Turkmenistan, which is really a goddamn nightmare.
Okay.
Turkmenistan is like, what if Trump was crazy?
Sorry, what if Trump was crazy?
I mean, the dude at one point, and there's a new guy who's just
Oh,
as
you mean
bad.
there's a
But a guy was
crazier
like,
Trump.
okay, no more dogs. You can't have dogs in the Capitol. Like, he
That's
just did shit like that.
understandable.
Then the next guy came in and was like, I love dogs. I made a statue for dogs and was like, everybody has a dog. It's really
Now you
bananas.
must all have dogs.
I mean, we could do a whole podcast about Turkmenistan. It's really something.
Okay.
I recommend people just go read a Wikipedia about it. So anyway, he also around this time starts putting his Russian language skills to work by answering ads for Russian brides in the back of singles magazines.
Okay.
That's how you meet ladies.
It's.
He's not good with the ladies, so he needs to
I understand. I understand it. It's just like, come on, it's not good.
I knew a guy when I was working in workman's comp, and there was an older guy there, and his wife got a job at the place, and she was Filipino, very young. He's like old and heavy and balding and nothing attractive about him, and she's like young and hot. Mm-hmm. And she was clearly had a boyfriend on the side, and then it turns out like, yeah, she was a mail order bride situation.
That's so weird.
It was really cool. And she had 3 years to go before she could divorce him. There was like a countdown happening.
Okay. You didn't have to put a clock in the bedroom.
So, yeah, to me, it's a weird thing. Like, sure, you could fall in love that way. It's still just because of the way
I'm skeptical.
the way Americans, the way we do things, it's so alien to us.
Right.
And yet there's a bunch of dudes that do it.
I'd
So
like to order a wife.
It's also like Jeffrey is a guy who can't meet. He's terrible with fucking
Right.
women. He can't meet them.
So, yeah.
And then you.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Well, I mean, honestly, like, well, yeah, I won't. I don't know enough. To
Well,
speculate.
there's these women want out, like they want a
Sure,
better
yeah,
life.
yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and fucking critique it.
I agree.
So Jeffrey had at some point joined a Baptist church, and through the church in 1996, he was part of Dayton's Friendship Force.
By the way, they did some great stuff.
Good friendshipping.
Yeah.
At like
Can you imagine a
friendship force.
I would be like, listen, pack your fucking tent up and get the fuck out of my face. Where your friend?
They're like a space force, but for friendship.
Yeah. You're under arrest. You're now our best friend. The fuck?
That's how friendships work.
Yeah. Now
So-
we're going to hang out.
So this friendship.
Let's play rummy.
What?
Let's play rummy together.
I don't want to play rummy.
Let's play Connect 4.
I don't want to do it.
Come on, you're part of the friendship force. We're not leaving until you
Yeah,
have a
it's
good
not-
time, pal.
I don't enjoy it.
How about some paddleball?
No.
How about some tennis?
No.
How about Connect 4 again?
No.
Have you played Connect 4
You're
lately?
very forceful.
Connect 4'sful is what I am. And let me tell you a little something about Connect 4. Have you played it?
Yeah.
Do you know the deal?
Yeah, I know.
What's
the fucking...
point of the game?
What?
What's the
To
point
get the 4.
in?
What? What do you mean in?
Get the 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. What don't we have in common, pal?
Everything.
Gosh. I can't imagine my life before you walked into it.
I can, and I do all the time.
Let's get jackets
Let's
that say
not.
the other's name.
I don't even know you. This is very aggressive.
You will go to jail if you're not my best friend.
This is crazy aggressive friendship, and I'm not going to jail. No one's going to arrest me. There's no cop that's going to be like, hey, you're not this guy's friend.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, bye.
Bye. You missed me.
No,
Miss me?
walk the other way.
I was going this way before, so I'm going to go the way I was going to go. You can turn around if you want to go, friend, pal.
Okay, I'm
bestie.
going the other way.
All right, me too.
No.
Let's go to town.
So he's part of Dayton's friendship force that went to Croatia and Sarajevo.
Oh, my God. We're looking to be your friends. We don't care when it ends. We're friends. It's friendship. Come on. Grab a hand. Grab a hand and make a friend. It is never going to end. We're friends. All right, Croatia.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. Let's get back on the plane. I think we've lost our brain.
Well, here's the crazy thing. So the Bosnian War
I was gonna say
peace plan, they did peace accords in Dayton, Ohio.
what?
Yeah. That's where it was like all resolved. So
We are at the Dayton Marriott, relieving tensions between nations.
continental breakfast.
You walk into a wrong ballroom. We're ballroom 3.
This wedding.
This one for wedding.
This Johnson wedding.
This is Johnson nuptials. By the way, get the satay.
Oh. So, like I said, Jeffrey is fascinated by other countries, and he's obviously traveling places. And then he became very interested in a country called North Korea when a famine hit the news in the mid-90s.
Welcome to Buzzwords.
Now, in 1998, he signed up with an agency that paired American women with ladies in other countries.
That paired American women or men?
American men with women up in other
Gotcha,
countries.
okay.
And they sent him a catalog.
Oh my god! I mean again, I'm trying to relate it to like dating apps, and it's not.
It's
that
not
different.
that much different.
Yeah,
It's not. So he picked some Russian women and one Iranian woman
okay.
and started writing them.
Okay.
And he made a connection
Sure.
with one. And for like a year, he wrote to this Russian lady, Tatiana Shum,
Sure.
who we'll start calling Tanya because that's what she goes by.
Okay.
And he goes to visit her. She's 15 years younger.
Okay.
So he's about 40. She's about 25.
Okay.
And then a couple months later, he goes back to see her again. And then she flies back with him to the U.S. in July. She has to marry him within 90 days or go back.
I'm a fucking idiot, and there's surely people who watch that show. I'm pretty sure that's what 90 Day Fiance is.
Oh, is it?
I'm pretty sure it's basically like something like that,
Yeah.
where they fly out and they see how it goes, and
Yeah.
you know.
Have you seen Naked and Afraid? That's just me running around with a bat at schools.
Bro, you don't get to talk about Naked. You know, I swear to God, Naked and Afraid has a dating show, and I was like, guys,
Oh, come on.
come on. Remember what made the brand good. They're like, now Naked and Afraid couples.
Cooking!
Yeah.
So they get married on day 91, September 20th, 2000. She gets a job as a hairstylist. They start having kids. They have 3 kids in 4 years.
Jeez.
They go to church every Sunday. Jeffrey, quote, "You don't hear the term mail order bride anymore. I guess guys are ashamed to call it that nowadays, but I never understood the stigma myself."
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. If it works.
Yeah, sure. And this seems to work. So Jeffrey started...
And that seems to work forever? We're happy, or for a while?
They seem to be doing
Okay,
fine.
okay.
Jeffrey started spending hours online looking at human rights reports in North Korea. As you do, you know. Well, what else do you do online?
Well, I mean, to be fair, if you're going to look up North Korea, may as well start around there.
The human rights, yeah. He read books about the experiences of North Korean refugees, like Escape from Camp 14 and Only Beautiful Please. And then Jeffrey traveled alone to Russia in 2013.
Okay.
So he also, when he
very
goes on
recent.
these trips, he likes to go alone. He likes to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's there, he tells Tanya that he's going to try to get into Mongolia.
Okay.
Now, Mongolia is a democracy, so I'm not exactly sure what at this point it's a democracy, so I'm not exactly sure what the thing was, but she begs him not to. She's like, don't do this, because maybe he didn't have permission. That might be it.
Sure.
Anyway, guards caught him trying to walk across the border one morning at 2 a.m.
Okay. I mean, I like that that's your when they're closed. After they close. The borders are the opposite of bars. They open at night.
So the guards were like, you could die because you're walking in the middle of nowhere.
Huh?
It's not...
What? Oh, no. What did you guys... I'm looking for my keys.
That's just miles and miles of nothing that you're walking into. Like, it's cold.
So may I go?
No, you'll die. Like, we don't want you. You're just walking. You don't have...
I'm on a quest to find my car keys. They were here, and I had them here.
Well, this is not how you do it.
Have you guys seen a set of keys? Anyone hand in any keys?
No.
For a Ford?
No.
For maybe an Ambassador Rambler? That seems like it's
No.
right. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'll just go this way then.
Well, you're walking backwards.
Sucker!
The way... So the next day, he got on a bus full of Italian tourists and went into Mongolia.
Hey, it's a finally time. Okay.
There was no more about that story. It's just like
Okay.
he's determined to do things and he does them.
But it also seems like in that circumstance, he's determined to do things like the foolish, bad way.
Well, yeah, because it's not. Like I said, I looked up Mongolia and they had like a democratic revolution
a
in
bus
their
of
democratic
Italians
country.
is going there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's hard to do. He was just like,
So they were just like, "Do you want to take the bus tomorrow?" He's like, It sounds like a trap. They're like, "It's really not. If you have a passport."
Yeah, you just buy a bus ticket.
Rather dig.
If you walk, it's like 80 miles to the next.
What's that in bus?
So he comes back, and when he gets back, his thirst for traveling is not quenched. And he starts looking into travel agencies that do tours of North Korea.
Wow, here we go again. It's not on most people's vacation hotspot list.
Although I am super intrigued, and I would do it in a heartbeat.
I would absolutely go, but I mean, I would never be like, I'm going to get that. Like, someone would have to be like, "Do you want to go?" I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, I'll go."
Yeah, I would love to go to North Korea.
Go to those grocery stores where you're just like, "This is just a picture of soup."
And then one day he bought Korean for Beginners on Amazon, so he's thinking about the language.
Sure.
Right? And while he bought that book on Amazon, the site made a suggestion for another book.
Oh, no.
A Korean English study Bible.
Oh, he was like, "Bible, Korea, my passions."
And it's turquoise colored.
Is it an actual translation of the Bible?
It is yes, it's a
Okay.
Well, I think it's a way to study English using the Bible, a way to study Korean using the Bible.
Oh, wow. Okay. Right.
So,
Awesome. What a
yeah.
tough guy to shop for.
It's how you learn. That's how I learned
Amazon's follow-up is amazing. Do you want a Korean Bible?
Korean. Yeah, okay. So he had read that North Korean school teachers sometimes recruited kids to find Christians who were hiding out because it's illegal to be a Christian there.
Okay.
Quote, "Go home and look for a shiny black book with strange writing on the cover. Bring it to school tomorrow."
I wish we did that here.
Yeah. Well, based on what's happened recently, it's time.
Yes.
The State Department warns Americans not to travel to North Korea, but it's not forbidden. You can go. It's not like Cuba, which would be
Right.
what a horrible thing that would be if we could go down there and be tourists and
Disgusting.
oh my God! But then those people would have money and they'd be able to survive. And
You know what? Don't revolt against us. Otherwise, you end up on the naughty list.
that's right.
Let us do what we like.
Yeah.
That's the policy.
So North Korea allows tourists, but only in authorized groups.
Like America just shows, like if America were a person, it would just show up to parties it wasn't invited to, eat everything, and then when it got kicked out, be like, "The fuck is your problem?" I don't know you.
So you can only go in authorized groups if you go to Korea. You can't just travel there and walk around.
One, please.
I would like to walk around your country.
Demilitarized zone. This is cute.
So about 8,000 people traveled there from Western countries in 2014. So
Okay.
not a lot, but you know.
Still.
Jeffrey tells Tanya he wants to go.
Okay.
She's not surprised based on his past.
Well, she's also like, well, when you were reading the North Korean Bible, I was
It's
like,
kind of yikes.
it's a flag.
So he books a 10-day trip run by Choreo Tours,
They're the
a
best.
company out of Beijing.
They're the best.
Awesome. It costs $4,000.
Okay.
Not that much.
I know, but still, that's the problem with my mind and travel booking. I just can't. The idea of parting with $4,000 for 10 days.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The way it would work is they'd start in Beijing. The whole group would go and meet in Beijing and then go to, quote, famous, ornate Pyongyang metro.
Okay. To the famous metro.
They would also see, quote, parts of the country never before seen by foreign eyes.
And in many ways, that's horrifying. This is where everyone really lives, in the underground cell. We don't normally show people.
But obviously not true because there's other people that have taken the tour.
Right, yeah. Right.
So, besides them.
It's a haunted
besides
house.
those foreign eyes.
Right. You're the first ones.
So Jeffrey packs. He's packing his suitcase, and Tanya comes in and sees the turquoise Bible and asks him to please not take that
Right.
because it's illegal.
Right.
But if he did need to take it, she said leave it in Beijing.
Put it up your ass.
And put it up your fucking ass.
Put it in a balloon and swallow it.
And I want pictures. So leave it in Beijing before you go to North Korea.
Right.
Tanya, quote, "It was like he didn't even hear me. He seemed so distracted, so focused, like he was packing for some important mission."
Sure, yeah, I'll take it to North Korea, babe. Don't worry. Yeah, I got you. I'll take it with me. Don't worry. I'm not going to leave in Beijing. That would be crazy.
How would I do that?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, he was also focused on something else at the moment because he was putting a deflated basketball into his suitcase.
Honey, you're distracting me. I'm trying to get all the air out of this fucking thing. Could you just give me a minute? God, this is just, I'm trying to, you understand how hard it is to get the air out of a Spalding? By the way, getting air out of a basketball, only way to do it is to put the pin in and be like,
yeah, that's the only way you can do it.
Yeah, okay. So that's.
I think you can also reverse the way a pump works sometimes, if I recall correctly.
I think that's sex only. Welcome to Guy Chat.
Oh, God. You listen to All Things Comedy.
Uh-huh. On the All Thing.
So it turns out he had gone to a Harlem Globetrotters game when they came to Dayton a few months before.
Those guys were so good.
And he got
They beat the shit out of that other team.
He'd gotten them all to sign the basketball.
Hey guys, I'm 40. Will you sign this? Not for my son. This is all for me.
No, he told them that the ball was headed for North Korea.
Hey guys, I need you to sign this. I'm going to take it to North Korea. I'm going there soon. I'll take a Bible. My wife's livid. Guys, we're all the same age. Will you sign my ball?
He told them his dream was to present to Kim Jong-un.
Ideally, what I'm going to do is give it to the dictator of the nation, the man who is known for imprisoning citizens for any sort of talk that he doesn't like and killing people indiscriminately. I want to give it to him. Guys, sign it to Kim. It's a man's name. It's different, I know, but I'm going there.
Oh, I love basketball.
Baby, I've got a great idea. Not only am I taking the Bible, but I'm taking this Globetrotter ball. And you were worried. You're such a worrier.
So Jeffrey also put a photo of his family in...
I'm not going to take clothes. I think it's just the ball, the Bible, and the pictures of you guys, and then I'm packed.
And this chair.
And this chair. And this rocking chair that just will not get in.
So Jeffrey puts a photo of his family inside the Bible and packs it.
That way they'll know who you are. They could come kill you because you're associated with me if they catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the family? Yeah, show a picture of the family so Gareth can see how everybody looks. So that's the family.
Oh, that's him, huh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
the kids look Russian.
Yeah,
They
and
got a
he
Russian
looks
couple.
like he's the kind of guy who takes a Bible to North Korea.
He does. He
Yeah.
really, really fucking does.
I don't believe in consequence.
Well, my impression, and I think you can think about this as the story goes on, I think he's really fucking dumb. I think he's a dumb man. I don't think he's bright. Nice guy.
Let's see where the story goes.
Just not too bright.
Let's see where the story goes. I have a feeling once Kim Jong-un sees this Bible and this Globetrotter ball, he's going to be on board. That's what happens. They find the Bible. Then you go, oh, but I also... And they go, what, the Bible?
Oh, geez. So he puts the picture in. He also writes his family's names, their address and phone number in there. His plan is he's going to drop the Bible somewhere in the Northern Territories.
He's going to drop it?
Yeah, he's literally going to drop it. That's his plan.
Okay.
He figures that up in the Northern Territories, the area is far away from Pyongyang, which is obviously the main capital and all that. And up there, Christian undergrounds, people who are underground Christians hiding from the government and doing their Christian stuff. Well, they would find it, and then they could use the Bible, and his Bible could be used by an entire community. And because he included his name and address and a photo of his family, the entire community would know who brought it to them.
My God.
It's a good idea.
I mean, the frogs leap less. That is unfucking believable. And he also is basically just trying to get the Bible experience that's already been had for his own. He's basically trying to be like, I wrote the Bible. Basically.
Yeah, basically.
He's basically Moses with the commandments.
Yeah. He wants to be like a guy who did something really important.
I talked to God. He said, get this. There's an Amazon receipt in here. Take that the fuck out. Come on. That really takes some of the shine off.
It's You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when you're a kid and you're fantasizing about, making that last shot.
Right.
Or hitting the home run.
2.
Yeah.
Right.
But for him, this is his fantasy.
Dum, dum.
Yeah. Like that's his version of this.
Oh my God, Tom, he dropped the Bible right in between those bushes. There's no way any of the guards are going to be able to find that. That is purely going to be found by the citizens outside of Pyongyang.
A whole community is now Christian based on this one guy from Dayton.
This is a seed that will provide harvest for decades and generations. Unbelievable stuff here from our crazy Jeffrey.
It's just, it's.
He's the Michael Jordan of batshit Bible drops. This guy's the GOAT.
It's really fucking crazy.
It's crazy. It's all crazy, but it's crazy to have never gone there, know
Yes.
it's illegal, and have this plan that just involves... Like, if someone were to be like, hey, don't take drugs into a country, and you got the drugs into a country, and then you were like, now I drop them.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
No.
It's.
You did the hard part.
If someone told you this, you'd be like, what?
Yeah.
What?
No.
No, why would you do any of this?
By the way, like, there's not one Bible in the country.
Right. I mean,
They've never
if you're-
seen the Bible?
If you're a Christian and you're in these northeastern territories
Yeah.
and you're hiding from the government, you guys have got all kinds of shit fucking worked
By
out.
the way, why don't you do what the Bible did and just rewrite the fucking thing? Just go into the mountains and be like, I'm pretty sure I know what it was. Let's just translate it one more time. The Bible is telephone.
It is. So, okay. So that's the plan, right?
Good.
And like I said, it's insanely illegal to have a Bible. It's, I want to put that out there. It is insanely illegal to have a Bible.
I'm enjoying having the stakes reset just to hammer home.
And so his plan was, if the Bible if it was found by authorities, he would just say he accidentally left it. Hence,
Oh, that's
hence
a good
the dropping.
plan. That's a good plan.
I dropped my Bible.
Right. What?
Which everybody does. You fucking drop a Bible once in a while. You know how many
Sure.
Bibles I've dropped on a trip?
Oh, man. I don't even think I've ever even held one.
So, since he had the Korean...
Put it in the hotel drawer. I'll start a whole revolution.
So since he had a Korean language workbook, also, he'd say the Bible in the workbook was how he was learning Korean, and, oops, I dropped it. Foolproof.
Right.
Foolproof. So on April 2014, he flies to Beijing. There's 36 tourists in this group. The guide's name is Simon Cockerell. Now, hilariously, I went and looked him up. He's still
Doing it?
doing it.
Okay.
He'd been a North Korean tour guide for years. His company was partnered with Korea International Travel Company, KITC, which is run by the North Korean government. So they're in partnership with the North Korean government.
But everything I've ever seen as far as somebody going into North Korea is basically that. You basically have a a state propagandist with you, so that anytime you're asking questions, and it's all well, why is that like that? It's like, oh, well, the dear leader, so it's not like someone's like, well, the real deal is.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen. Yeah. No. So the tour rules were, quote, no unauthorized photography, no off-color remarks about Kim Il-sung, his son Kim Jong-il, or current Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un, and no pushing outside ideas on North Koreans.
Right. So basically, probably don't talk.
Keep your fucking shit, just zip it up.
Don't talk shit.
Just enjoy. Take it in.
Don't talk shit.
Take it in.
Talk shit when you leave.
So then they all fly to Pyongyang, and Jeffrey has the Bible in a leather bomber jacket, which causes the whole jacket to sag to the right.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what the Bible did to our political culture.
So he's got it's an inside pocket, right? Mm-hmm. That snaps. So he's got it in there, and the whole thing is just leaning one way. In the airport terminal, a security agent looks through his luggage, and Jeffrey's saying to himself, just trust in God. This is what God's plan. Just trust in God. And then he walks through the metal detector, and the metal detector goes off.
Jesus Christ.
He takes everything out of his pockets, except obviously the Bible, and the metal detector still goes off.
Oh my God. What if he oh, my knife in the Bible. I mean, if it's
he takes off his belt, it still goes off. So he thinks, I'm fucked. I have nothing else on me. And he reaches into the jacket to unsnap the Bible, but then right then the security agent tells him to just go through. Because God is helping him.
Right. Sorry I took so long there.
Sometimes people confuse a security agent being lazy with God helping them.
Yeah.
And in this case, God helped him. So he goes on the tour bus. He sits alone. Everyone else is like talking, but he's just hanging. They said he sat alone and smiled a lot. So again,
that's always a good thing to see. That's always. I wonder why nobody sat next to that guy. Can you imagine someone looking inviting on a bus, like looking like, hey, sit here? It'd be like, absolutely not. That's the guy who's gonna like poop.
At the hotel, they all had roommates, so he's paired up with a Canadian dude.
Oh, that poor bastard.
This is actually the part of the tour where you lose me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
No roommates.
Yeah. Especially not him. You might meet someone who's like, hey, man, you want to get drunk? And be like, all right, cool. Yeah. Instead, this guy's going to be like,
should we pray together?
Hey, you know that this is all part of God's plan that you and I would end up in room 902.
Yeah, I just wanted to not talk. That was my thing about the tour.
God's plan involves us communicating.
No, I'm going to go ahead and disagree. I'm not a God guy. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not a God guy.
I don't believe in God.
I don't believe in I can't say it. I was going to try to convince you, but why don't you get on your knees?
No?
Get on this pillow.
Okay.
Sit on the pillow on your knees.
Are we having sex?
Huh? No. Good Lord, no.
Oh,
what?
Then no, I'm getting
We're
up.
praying.
Oh, I thought we were going to have a... Okay.
It'd be a sin of many ways.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, it would. Especially the way I do it.
Okay, let's just go our separate ways.
So they spend some time in Pyongyang.
I'll just lay in bed and smile.
Okay. So they spend some time in Pyongyang. His plan, again, like I said, he's going to drop the Bible.
Brilliant plan is to just, on his walk, drop the Bible.
In the northeast.
In the middle of nowhere.
Northeast territories.
Yeah. Right.
He's thinking Hamhung or Chongjin, and he'd read human rights reports about persecuted Christians in Chongjin. So they've been sent to prison. They've been executed by having molten iron poured on themselves. Like, probably bullshit fucking stories.
But still, is that going to make you be like, maybe I just don't do the Bible part? How'd they kill him? Molten.
But reading that, he thinks, well, these people didn't deny that they were Christians. So there's probably a serious group of dedicated Christians up there.
How about take one tour without the Bible, then come back with the Bible once you've got a head full of knowledge?
Yeah. Now, Simon has specifically told Jeffrey the opposite.
Right.
He said people are really conservative in the northern territories, and they do not trust foreigners there.
Okay, so in other words, is he going to the worst spot to do this?
Yes.
Okay, so his plan was to go to the spot where they would be most open to it, but because was like just looking at the Globetrotter ball when he was given direction, he's now going to the place where you don't want to be doing what he's doing.
He's taking the Communist Manifesto to Oklahoma. Like,
okay.
So there's a lot of, they're on a train, and again, he still thinks God's on his side. And
sure.
They're taking a train through the country. There's security watching them, right? There's always people around.
Sure.
He figured he should drop the Bible sooner rather than later to get it over with.
Home.
Yes. So at a huge railroad station in Wonsan, he tried to get a loan to drop it, but he could never get a loan. He just couldn't get away from people. So then the next stop is Hamhung.
Just so I'm clear on this a little bit, there is a picture of his family in the Bible with their addresses.
That's correct.
Okay.
Like, the dumbest part of this story is that he put his fucking name and picture in the fucking Bible.
Isn't that... And what was the rationale behind that?
He would say that was going to help him say, "Oh, that's mine. I dropped it. That's my Bible," as opposed to just dropping a Bible and going, "I didn't bring anything."
Right. And is he doing that because he wants credit?
He wants the Christians who are going to use his Bible to then
get in touch,
honor
with
him, I guess,
right.
Or to be like, "This is the man who brought us."
So again, I mean, it is like it's what's always so fascinating about the religious mentality or even the Christian mentality is like, okay, you want to spread the message of God, go do it. And he's like, yeah, but I want to be remembered for it.
That's right.
Right,
Yeah, no, if you truly believed in this, you would just get the Bible in there and
Yeah,
not want any
right
credit.
now, yeah, you just
No credit.
You fucking heave it off the train when no one was looking.
So the next stop is Ham Hung, and they tour a fertilizer factory. They went to a lot of really great places.
That's awesome. This is where most of our shit is.
And they went to a theater. Still, he can't find a place to drop it.
Right.
Now, the last stop was Chongjin, and then they were going back to Pyongyang. So this is it. Like, this is...
It's time.
The tour group went to a pub in the evening called the Seamen's Club.
Sure.
It had once been for sailors, but now mostly just tourists.
Okay.
Quote. And the quotes here...
By the way, are you proud of me for not making a joke?
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. The quotes here are, unless I say otherwise, are by Joshua Hunt in Atavist magazine, which did a really great story on this hero.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So, quote, with a gift shop that sold delicately arranged bouquets of dried fish.
Sorry, what is that?
The Seamen's Club
boasts
has a
dried fish club
they have a gift shop
that sells dried fish.
that sells arranged bouquets of dried fish.
Right, so you get a...
So instead of like flowers,
Right,
it's a fish situation
Right, right,
for your honey.
right. Yeah, yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking of how
Great.
great a gift it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very great gift for sure.
So Jeffrey sat there drinking ordered soda and watching all his fellow tourists drink and hang out and have a good time. And,
Well, he's
and
just in his head like, Jeffrey, come on, make
Bible-
a move.
Bible time.
Jeffrey.
So an hour in, he goes into the bathroom and
I'm
going
going to go take the Bible out. Put my penis in the urinal.
He figures not many tourists are going to come through this area, so it could be a while before anyone came into the bathroom and saw it. Right? He was thinking a
He's just
tourist
going to
won't.
put it in the bathroom?
That's the plan. It's a great plan. So he checks it out. He checks out the whole bathroom.
It's got his
Go ahead.
well, it's just got his personal information in there.
Yeah, that's a problem. So
I mean, at this point, I would Goodfellas the Bible and just like flush it.
So he checks out the bathroom, and then he doesn't do it. He leaves and he sits down, I guess, to think about where he's going to put it. And a few minutes later, he goes back into the bathroom.
It's diarrhea.
It's he goes into a stall and he takes out the Bible. Be cool. Be cool. God's with you. Be cool. God's with you. Be cool.
I'm not. I'm real, but this is a dumb plan.
Now, he had a newspaper. And he took out a page and he wrapped the Bible up the way you would wrap up a gift.
You've had so much time to think about what you're going to do. Wrapping it like a gift again. It seems like it's putting another marble on the scale of predetermination.
Yeah, it's not a good move.
Yeah.
And then he puts it underneath a wastebasket
What? Like what?
and walks
This is
out.
God? God's like the quarterback of this play?
Yeah, this is God.
So put it under the trash can and wrap it in paper. All right, Lord, you are mysterious.
He thought hiding it like that would give him time to get out of the country before anybody saw it.
But it's not really hiding it. Get out of the... I mean, what, like...
I don't know how,
It's not a fuse.
I don't know what the waste basket situation is. Like, is it just sitting on top of this book, or maybe he was able to slide it underneath something so you couldn't really see it?
I'm picturing he just put the Bible under the trash can and
Yeah.
then put the trash... So the trash can has like about like an inch of daylight.
That's how...
A Bible's worth of rise.
So...
The trash hath risen.
And he's going to deny everything if they find it.
Well, it's not like there's a picture of my family in there with their home. Oh.
So he's nervous, obviously.
What is giving him nerves right now, Dave?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because this is all God's plan. He shouldn't be nervous
Right,
at all.
yeah, right.
So they spend that night at the...
By the way, when he did this, there were 2 sets of footprints.
So they spend that night at the Chongjin Tourist Hotel. Quote, providing a great chance to observe nighttime rail traffic and soak up the city's industrial atmosphere.
And just stress your balls off. So he's just like, it's just a nice night. I mean, poor Tanya.
So the next day, the group goes to check out a candy and dinner roll factory.
Right, and I love the places that just, I mean, it's easy to make both with the same machines and ingredients. So, I think in expanding the candy empire, what are you going to do, gum? No, rolls, bread rolls.
But it didn't really seem like a working factory because none of the conveyor belts were working, and the candy and dinner rolls were just in piles at the end of the belts. Mm-hmm. So,
great, perfect.
Now I want to go to North Korea.
I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer.
So outside in the parking lot, Simon speaks. He gathers the tour group, and he says, "Quote: Did anyone leave something at the Seamen's Club last night?"
All right, let's wagons west.
One man jokes, "Yes, I left $3,000."
Gary.
They all laugh, and then others pile on and make jokes that he had left his Bible.
Yeah. Yes, imagine.
Simon's not amused, and everyone realizes this is actually serious. And after a bit, Jeffrey said, quote, "I think I forgot my book."
Dude, what? This guy's not thought. Like,
Nothing.
If you're going to do this, you need to. This is locked up abroad with a Bible. So you need to be thinking about every step of this. What are you going to say? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to put it under a trash can, does that really make sense? Should you maybe hold on to it? Should you maybe throw it in the trash?
Yeah.
But instead, and then when it comes to this, I would be like, I don't know what you're talking about. But then again, if you had a picture of your fucking family and addressing it, you'd be like, hey, it's mine.
I mean,
it's just he's really painted himself into quite a biblical corner.
do you remember when I said he might
Moses couldn't part this problem and walk through it.
Remember when I said he might be dumb?
Yeah.
So a very pissed Simon asks him, "What kind of book?"
I don't know.
And Jeffrey says, quote, "A turquoise book, my Bible."
And everyone in the tour group's like, bro,
Yeah, everyone in the tour book is like, what in the fuck?
there's one rule.
Yeah, this was pretty easy, this one. So Simon, another guide, and a KITC rep.
That Canadian guy's like, room to myself tonight, no roommate tonight, he's gonna die.
So they pull Jeffrey aside and they question him. And the Bible had been found immediately and turned in. Because anybody who found the Bible is like, fuck, is this a trick?
Right.
Like, are they
Right,
watching me?
yes.
Like, no one is going to
You're
take
in
that
North Korea,
Bible and
right.
be like, oh, cool, I'm going to keep this.
Hey, I should read this. Oh, what a cute family.
Jeffrey was like, I dropped it.
I dropped it.
Wrapped.
I dropped it into newspaper. I tried to pick it up. It accidentally wrapped itself. And then I kicked it under a wastebasket. And my back hurt and I couldn't get it. And I didn't want to say anything to anybody. And I didn't say anything to anybody.
Dried fish bouquets.
I love dried fish.
So the guides go and talk to the KITC people. And after their discussion, Simon tells Jeffrey that what he'd done was really, really stupid, but he thinks it's worked out. And that's a load off Jeffrey's back. He is like, woo, okay.
But what a dumb shit.
Okay.
Like, that's where you're at? All right, I got away. I'm going to live for putting a Bible under a trash can.
But not even just from his, but he could have gotten these fucking tour guides.
Right,
like,
sure,
fucking
yeah, right,
fucked.
right.
That night, they all go to karaoke, and Jeffrey is dancing and clapping along with the songs and having a good fucking time because he did it. He fucking did it, Gareth.
But he didn't.
He did it.
But they didn't. He
He pulled it off.
They found it.
It's like James Bond.
No, it's not.
Getting the girl and the information.
No, it's James wrong.
Killing the bad guy
He didn't.
and getting back to England.
But nobody got the Bible.
It worked.
I don't think that it has.
Ask God.
I'm not.
Ask God.
I'm not going to do that.
Ask God.
Just talk to her. She was like, no.
Ask her.
Yeah, she said no.
Come on.
I've been asking her. She's
I wanna hear it out
shouting
loud.
no.
I want to hear it out loud.
She's shouting no. Dear Lord, was it a part of your plan to send Jeffrey in there with a Bible that nobody read ever.
Oh, yeah!
That's blasphemed.
That was God. So, at one point during this karaoke night, he saddles over to Simon. And he goes, what are the plans for the rest of the tour, our last day or whatever?
What are we going to do? We've had such an eventful day. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right?
And Simon cannot believe him. He says, quote,
do you want to sing Time of Our Lives together as a duet? Simon, it's me, Jeffrey.
Simon says, quote, you really don't get it, do you?
What?
And now Jeffrey's scared again. The next day, all the other tourists are giving him dirty looks.
Wonder why.
And some are making comments to him. One asked him what in the hell he'd been thinking. Jeffrey, quote, just shrugged and stared back at me with that Alfred E. Newman grin of his.
Oh, God. Empty-headed.
Empty-headed. They take the train from Chongjin to Pyongyang overnight. And as they head for the airport, Jeffrey is reprimanded by the KITC man.
Okay.
He's basically saying there's consequences for what you do.
There are consequences?
Yeah.
Okay.
At customs, Jeffrey had to go through a metal detector, and they made him go through it over and over and over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. But he clears customs, and they go out onto the tarmac to get on the plane. And just then, two large North Korean men wearing black pants and polo shirts walk up, don't say a word, and just motion for Jeffrey to follow.
Oh, God.
He's put into the backseat of a car, sitting between the two men. A man in the front seat turns around. He says he's named Mr. Joe, and he would be Jeffrey's interpreter.
Hi, I'm Mr. Joe. It's a real name.
So they go to this hotel that's a famous hotel.
Wow.
And they take Jeffrey into a back room.
It's just, of all the people to be in this situation, the guy's like,
Mr. Joe has the Bible in his hand, and he asks Jeffrey if this is his.
It's more my wife's.
There's a photo of his family sticking out of the Bible.
I'm trying to think if that is mine or isn't. I guess, here's what I'll say. I have one that looks just like it, and that's my family.
I have another turquoise Bible like that.
Yeah.
That's not my family.
Here's what I do.
That's my brother and
Here's what
his
I do.
family.
That's right, that's mine, and there's two others like it I've stashed in this country, and if you want to find out where they are, you're going to let me get on that fucking plane, gentlemen.
So, look, his plan to say he dropped it is just in fucking ruins.
I dropped it.
Because he put it under a trash can and wrapped it in
so-
newspaper.
Yeah. Again, no thinking, like no on-the-feet thinking.
So, I mean, literally the way he did it, there's no way it could be anything but a guy
Calculated.
stashing a... Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, he just completely framed
It's,
himself.
I mean, even if it was under the trash without the paper, or if it was just paper wrapped, one of those two, maybe you could, but together, no.
No. So he cops to it. He says, yeah, that's mine. And then they take him to the 36th floor of the hotel.
You're going to meet God up here.
Two men go through his luggage and they list every single thing in it. And then a military guy comes in and said, quote, you are here under investigation for this incident of leaving a Bible in the DPRK. Another man in a gray uniform comes in and questions him about his work, his family, his life growing up, everything. And then at 30 minutes, it's like a switch flips and he starts interrogating him. He was asked who was paying him. Who paid him to do this?
Oh, man. The Lord.
Quote, things will be much less pleasant for you if you don't cooperate. Tell us who gave you the Bible.
Tanya. She's behind it all. She came from Russia. She's just hell-bent on getting one
It's
here.
been a 20-year plan. Jeffrey said it was his idea, and he bought the Bible on Amazon.
I mean, like, it's just, you would be like, I mean, it's such a bad excuse that maybe it's true or maybe he's brilliant. It's from Amazon.
He's just so...
Who put you up to it? It was my idea. I bought it on Amazon. Feels like, are we overestimating this guy a little bit? Who do you work for? My independent contractor for the most part. I bought that Bible on Amazon.
So, Advertisement magazine, quote, Fowle tried to explain why he'd brought the Bible to North Korea. He told Mr. Joe and Mr. Kim about his dream and about his trip to the
All
desert.
this mist, and I woke up covered in cum.
And both men seemed baffled. Mr. Kim looked vaguely disgusted.
So you had a dream that it drizzled and you brought a Bible here? That's right.
So they're literally just like, this guy is so fucking dumb.
Yeah, they're like, sir, you might be able to get out of here on diplomatic imbecility.
Okay, tell us why you brought the Bible. I was dreaming that I was looking down at a revival and I was thinking bad thoughts about them, and then God came up behind me and said, no, they're good, listen to them. And then I was
what we
wet.
asked you was
and
why.
then I was wet.
What we asked you was
wet
why
with
did you
tears.
Why did you bring it?
I'm getting there. And God said
When
to
did he
me,
when?
I have a plan and you're part of this plan. So I go to the desert.
Are you sure it was God? It
And
feels
I,
like he would have
and
a
I
much better
park
plan.
my car
Uh-huh.
in a canyon.
What?
And I take a bedroll.
Uh-huh.
I leave the title and the note on the car.
Of the
I
car?
said, whoever wants the car can have it. It's
Abandon
yours.
your car.
Happy car, I said.
Just so you had a blanket?
And I take my bedroll, and I walk off into the desert.
We actually have a factory that makes bedrolls and candy.
4 days.
Uh-huh.
4 days.
Right, sure.
And then I come back out. And I'm
And
like,
what?
and then I'm on Amazon.
Did you get back in the car?
Okay, so then
Was
I'm
the car there?
Yeah, the Rangers had taken the title and put it back and said, don't do this.
So they were basically like, you're an idiot?
And so
Does everyone just think you're an idiot?
And listen, and then I'm on Amazon and I'm buying a How to Speak Korean thing.
Uh-huh.
And then this turquoise Bible comes up and I'm like, oh my God, who could do this but God?
Amazon does.
Because all that
That's
stuff
their whole
comes
thing. It's
together.
no, they target you. Because you bought a Korean book, they were like, hey, let's see if this dumb shit wants to buy a turquoise Bible.
Okay, you
in
say
Korean.
that. But how did Amazon know about the dream in the desert?
They didn't. They're just like, it's their whole thing is they collect data. They've been collecting data on you. What's in your head?
So how did
Feathers?
How did they know that though? You know what I mean?
It's part of the. It's what it's designed to do. Anyway, let's say you buy it, then you brought it here. You really just. It's like talking to a figurine. It's like a Hubble. There's nothing inside your melon, is there?
The pillow was so wet.
Stop talking. Be a great thing for us to say.
So these two Korean gentlemen say, look, you're not being forthcoming, and we are going to take you to where, quote, the facilities won't be as accommodating and the interrogation techniques will be harsher.
So his plan is so dumb.
So dumb.
That he'll get tortured.
That's what...
They're
yeah,
basically
that's-
like, we can't believe that anyone's this stupid, so we're going to find the truth out. And he's like, I already told you the truth.
So, yeah, it's... I mean, look, they don't take him anywhere, and they just leave him in this hotel room. He turns on a TV, and he sees on the news there's another American, Matthew Miller, who is also imprisoned in North Korea, and they're talking about him. And then the next day, they come and some worker comes, and now there's no more foreign channels on the TV.
Oh.
So the State Department is alerted to what's going on.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, what did he do? Sorry, let me take you off a speakerphone. What did he do?
So the State Department tells Tanya, and she is like, yeah, I fucking told them not to go to fucking North Korea. And I told them not to bring the fucking Bible.
Yes, every part of it I said no.
The U.S. government is like, we're going to do everything we can to get him out, but it's obviously really complicated.
Dumb Americans are Americans too.
I mean, could you
They
imagine?
make up most of the country.
Could you imagine you're in the State Department and someone comes in your office and tells you this fucking story?
Sir, we have something a man might be killed in North Korea. He took a turquoise Bible and he wrapped it and put it under a garbage can. We wanted to save him, but now that I hear it, we probably shouldn't.
Is this a prank?
No, it's not. The man appears to have no brain, sir. So...
Can we just leave this guy? Like,
that's our plan. We said leave him, but it's just we feel like, you know, it's just like it's like a 6 on this hand, half a dozen on the other. I could really go either way. It's like do I want paninis or Panera for lunch? You know what I mean? It's like, but both sound fine. Neither's appealing.
Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna leave him.
Sorry, but are you good with Panera? That's kind of the main.
Panera's fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
We're
really
gonna do
good
that.
Panera.
Great.
Yeah. So whatever, they're going to try to get him out. They can't tell.
Operation Dumbfuck is initiated, sir.
The family can't tell anybody because they don't want anybody knowing.
By the way, the family won't tell anyone because the family doesn't want anyone knowing. You fucking kidding me? Tanya, please don't reveal this to your neighbors. Please, you not reveal to anyone else too, please. Let's keep tight lid on it.
If people knew, it would be easier for North Korea to use them for propaganda purposes, a bargaining chip and whatever.
Yes, plus we never invited to block party.
That's right. So a week after Jeffrey was detained, North Korea learned there was a movie in production called The Interview, in which James Franco
shit.
and Seth
Oh, my
Rogen-
God. I'm sorry, I don't know either of those actors. Well, it's not good for you, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. It's, you're here at... By the way, we're going to make you not believe in God by the end of the month. That's the plan.
So, Seth Rogen and James Franco tried to assassinate Kim Jong-un. So Seth Rogen, a great guy, James Franco, like rapey.
Yes. So rapey that Seth Rogen is like, like
yeah, he should go away. So North Korea said there would be a, quote, merciless response and that the film was an act of war.
Yes. Yes. I mean, if I remember very vividly that time being like, things have changed. This is the hack, all that. Like, you were like, this is next level insult.
That was very weird.
A movie that can't be released in theaters.
I mean, I don't know if they still are, but for years, Sony was not communicating by email, and like their whole system was fucked.
Well,
for
yeah,
years.
because everything they were just like, oh, Bradley Cooper can suck it. I'm sorry, Bradley. I wish there was a sarcasm font.
So Sony delays release of the film. Weeks go by. Each day a minder would come in, and they would watch in the morning. They would watch exercise TV shows.
Who? Jeffrey and his minder?
Yeah. And the minder would exercise and try to get Jeffrey to join in. Which is so funny because that's always almost like stereotypical what you hear about North Korea.
Yeah, right. It's true. Yeah, it's like morning calisthenics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although we could use morning calisthenics here.
Yeah. Is that a pastry?
In the middle of the day, another minder would come. His job was to get Jeffrey ready for his trial.
Okay.
Jeffrey was
It's also mainly exercise based.
and exercise based, yeah. Jeffrey was told to confess his crimes against North Korea, and they wanted him to write them all down, like write everything he had done down. During these interviews, Jeffrey had to wear a dress shirt. So when this guy came over, this minder, he would put on a dress shirt, but he wasn't leaving he just had to dress nice for this guy.
It's amazing. It's just my room. Please put on a nicer shirt.
Sometimes discussions with this guy were pleasant. Sometimes they were really not pleasant. And Jeffrey just said over and over and over that he'd come on his own and no one had sent him. Minder, quote, "That's schoolboy logic. If you don't start cooperating, things are going to become less pleasant."
I mean, his plan is so dumb they don't believe it's possible.
They don't know what to do with it. It's so fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's like a 3-year-old's plan. And they're like, no way.
Of course it sounds like he's lying because it's so fucking
of course,
stupid.
Yes. And they're like, look, he's clearly got great training. We can't break him.
And even if he wasn't lying, they would want him to lie. But in this case, they're like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, come on.
After a while, it was clear they didn't want the truth. So that's what Jeffrey says.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, why don't you not have attitude for a little while, Jeffrey?
So Jeffrey invents a guy, Mr. Carter. And he said Mr. Carter ran an underground...
Oh, Mr. Carter! Can I take the Bible?
He's so old. Mr. Carter...
I used to watch Nick at Night reruns, so I'm very young.
Mr. Carter ran an underground missionary in China, and he had gotten Jeffrey to drop the Bible off. The minder's like, that's absolute bullshit. That's just the dumbest
then I
story.
brought it on my own, like I said for the past 2 weeks.
Finally, after 3 weeks, Jeffrey was done writing his statement of guilt. So whatever they wanted him to write, he wrote up this thing. And then after he was done writing it, he was taken to a guest house where he would now be staying.
Okay.
And when he first got there the first day, he read his confession out loud and after was told to think about what he would like to write to his family. So they're like, you're going to get to write to your family. So I went over and opened a desk drawer, and inside was a piece of paper with "No Schoolboy" written in block letters across the top.
Wow.
So he's like, is this a message, or did another guy stay here who had gone through this? It's a message.
Yeah, they're like...
But his thing was like, oh, no, someone must have stayed here.
It's a sign. Stop finding signs.
He generally thought another guy had stayed there, and I was like,
This
when
guy's writing me messages.
when I first heard it, I was like, no, they wrote that.
I'm going to take this paper and put it in a bathroom. This needs to be seen.
Oh, fuck. So the State Department would talk to Tanya each week and fill her in with what was going on. They said it was going to probably
So your
take
husband's still an idiot, but this week, basically,
nothing.
yeah.
So they think it's going to take about 6 months to get him out.
I mean,
She writes to all the ex-presidents who were alive. So Clinton, the Bushes, Carter.
I have
She's
no
just,
interest in helping.
Oh, he sounds like a dumb
I
shit.
see your husband sounds like a dumb shit. Unfortunately, ma'am, your husband sounds stupid, and that's coming from me. I'm also stupid. Okay. Well, figure try to get your husband out, but the only way to do it is build a Habitat for Humanity bridge.
Oh, that was Carter?
That's me. Old Jimmy. Thought maybe.
I thought that was Clinton.
No, this is me. And I'm over here. I'm different. I'm a hammer.
Okay.
My hands don't work that well
yeah,
anymore. Yeah, my hands work great. I use them often.
She only got one response. W's office sent a form letter.
Yeah. Of course.
Thank you for reaching out to President.
If you'd like to buy a painting, please attach $30 and we'll send you one of a toad.
Now, on June 6th, the U.S. government revealed Jeffrey was imprisoned in North Korea.
Crimes against thinking.
For being a fucking idiot. Yeah. Two Japanese papers reported he was arrested for leaving a Bible in his hotel room. That just makes him sound totally innocent and smart.
Totally. But if you're him, great. Get
Yeah.
that out there.
Media just come pouring into his hometown. A local Democratic congressman who had been to North Korea a few times said he would look into it. He told Tanya, quote, leaving a Bible in a room is not a big deal and shouldn't be a big deal.
What if he wrapped it in paper, put it under a trash can with addresses and the pictures of his family?
Also, it is a big deal.
Yeah,
that's their
also
rule.
it is a big deal. They
That's
made a-
their
yes.
That's their rule. It shouldn't be, and it is.
Let me. This is what I would relate it to. I love to smoke marijuana.
Yeah.
Whenever I go to another country, I don't bring marijuana with me. It's not because I don't want to smoke marijuana.
Okay.
It's because I recognize that there's international law, and if I don't want to be prosecuted for crimes I've committed, I'm not going to commit those crimes.
Okay, counterpoint.
Uh-huh.
Marijuana shouldn't be a big deal.
Yes, great. Fuck you. That's my whole fuck you, Dave.
Neighbors can't believe that nice, quiet Jeff would do anything to get himself thrown in jail.
No.
One said, quote, a lot of people would put up money if there was a jug at the market.
That'll do it. Dear leader, we have the jug.
It's like we're reading the story, and all of a sudden, someone's like, "I'm from America in 1840." Like,
What the fuck?
What
are
in
they,
the
like,
fuck?
Yeah, like that's like, what are you raising money for a little league team or trying to get a man out of the North Korean prison? Well, we got about $45. How much is it going to take to get him out?
Another said, quote, he's such a mild-mannered person that I can't imagine anybody not letting him go. That's not how it works.
Yeah, you don't just
That's not...
It's like every neighbor of a murderer. Well, he just kept to himself. Can't imagine.
So papers interviewed people who had gone to North Korea, like a guy, Andrew Lombardi. He had gone in 2011. The Journal News, quote, the trip, Lombardi said, was eye-opening, compelling, and occasionally fun, like when he played in the nation's first ever Ultimate Frisbee tournament.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Andrew, can I just... One favor.
Yeah.
One favor.
Go.
Can you fucking stop talking about you playing in the first Ultimate Frisbee tournament?
Why?
Can you not squeeze it into every single
They were
fucking...
asking me they asked for my opinion on his situation.
Yeah, but all you do is squeeze in that
When
you were the
I was,
first...
I don't even remember saying that. What I
Dude.
said to him was, let me finish. What I said to him was, hey, yeah, it was a great time. I had a lot of fun there. I learned a bunch of stuff. And, you know, frolf.
What?
Frolf.
What is... What?
Frisbee golf.
Jesus Christ.
What?
It was fucking 1978.
It was the fall of 78, which is
Okay.
basically 79, J.O.
That was 50 fucking years ago,
Oh
man.
my God! What are you, the human calculator? Shut
Nobody
up.
gives a shit about the fucking ultimate frisbee tournament.
Okay, I was answering a question
No,
about
you weren't.
international law.
Do you have any friends?
Yes, the disc
Jesus Christ.
and my
man.
dog.
Just stop bringing it up, dude.
My life is like Mark Harmon and Summer School.
Another tourist, Cyrus Kirkpatrick, said you were fine if you didn't, quote, bring up topics about politics or other taboo subjects and not bring in Bibles or other restricted items.
What if you wrapped one under the garbage? Is that strange?
What if you took one, you wrapped
They're
it
really, really, really clear about the thing they don't want there.
Okay, but what if you wrapped it in gift paper and said, to all the Korean people from Lord Jesus Christ and me, Jeffrey
Not good.
Flo.
No, again, just don't see it. There's not a loophole. There's no Bible loopholes.
What if I put a ribbon on it?
No. Nope.
What if it was like a talking Bible and you open it up?
I think it's worse. I think the ideas are getting worse. That's worse.
Really?
Yeah.
What if when you open it, it explodes into like 500 Bibles?
Like a gremlin Bible? No, I don't think that's...
Yeah, you get it wet and it just turns into more Bibles, worse Bibles.
Well, I mean...
Bibles that hurt people.
No. That's the original.
It seems very
Yeah.
restrictive and dumb, your
Right.
rules. You should be able to leave a Bible wherever you want.
No, not if the country says you can't, so...
So his kids were writing him letters, but they didn't
Dear
know.
Dad, I keep doing it.
They didn't know if he'd get them. To try to distract the kids, Tanya bought some chickens.
Great.
So maybe
You know, your father has a smaller brain than most of the birds. He's crazy.
maybe there's just a simplicity that goes through the whole family.
What's great is mother hen sit on the egg, much like trash can sit on rep Bible. Dumb shit take to an NK.
Stop talking about daddy like that.
I'm not trying to, but I'm just hoping you don't inherit dumb shit.
I don't
Comes from your father's side, and the gene seems to be predominant.
like the chickens anymore.
Well, listen, I don't know what to tell you. You have a vacuum as far as a parent goes, and I fill the void with a bunch of little fowl.
Okay.
Now, each one of these is named Dad. There you go.
Jeffrey started writing lists to distract himself.
Things I regret. 1.
He wrote lists of Beatles songs. He wrote lists of presidents. He wrote lists of Motown songs and Christmas songs. He would just write lists of everything.
Another list.
Here I go. Fun, fun, fun! Lists of cars! Fucking idiot. So on June 20th, he was taken to meet the Swedish ambassador who had letters from Jeffrey's family. So the Swedish ambassador it's kind of the country they end up using to deal with situations like this.
Peaceful
Is
liaison.
Sweden. Yeah.
Right.
So, his sister-in-law, Jeffrey's sister-in-law, sent a week's worth of crossword puzzles cut out from a local paper.
Oh boy, move away, lists. There's a new game in town.
Only a fucking week's worth?
No, well, I mean,
Are you fucking kidding me?
I think it'll take him a while to do them.
I mean,
Wait, what does it mean, a cross?
why did she give me 6 years
Is
worth of
that a
crossword
biblical
puzzles?
reference? A cross. A cross.
Telling you didn't write anything.
Okay. Tanya didn't need to write anything.
There's something weird there, but also she said it was because she was from Russia and grew up under a government in which people would read whatever you wrote, and she hated that.
Sure.
But
Also,
eh.
what are you gonna say?
Jeffrey was allowed to make a collect call home, so he calls his family. It costs $140. She had no money because her husband, the breadwinner, was...
I don't think he had a good plan. I'm just retrospect on everything.
It's fair. It's a fair assessment. So that same day, June 20th, North Korea began releasing statements about the movie The Interview.
Ugh.
Quote, there's a special irony in this storyline as it shows the desperation of U.S. government and American society. A film about the assassination of a foreign leader mirrors what the U.S. has done in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and Ukraine. And let's not forget...
Hey, take it easy. Hey, come on, relax.
And let us not forget who killed Kennedy, Americans.
Hey, take it easy. Huh?
Whoa.
Hey, I tell you, we made some mistakes, but relax, huh? Oopsie poopsie. We didn't mean to kill Kennedy. We were trying to just puncture the tire.
By the way, that's the problem with having to represent the United States.
100%.
Like, we just want to negotiate. So it's like, well, you always kill dictators. Well, you kill heads of state. You send in the CIA to do like coups off the record. Well, but mainly for oil. Well, but listen, we're very awesome in many ways. Please.
So the Sony CEO asked Rand Corporation for a threat analysis, and Sony was told North Korea would likely test Sony's computer systems. So Jeffrey's health starts going south. He was having dizzy spells. He was seeing black spots in his peripheral vision.
And logic.
And he was worried he was being poisoned. So he started keeping his nail clippings and hairs he took from his tub drain, and he was putting them in a napkin.
Yep. Okay, keep going. I'm just... Next portion of the story we're ready for. Because obviously, if you're being poisoned.
You keep that in case you want to test for poisoning.
Later when he goes home. Mm-hmm. So did you learn about bringing weird shit in your suitcase? Yes. Will you test my nails?
Here's 4 pounds.
Here's 4 pounds of my hand nails.
They gave him a physical at a hospital, but no one asked about being dizzy or the black spots. The Swedish ambassador had given him a Hemingway book, but they took it away.
We're not letting him have books anymore.
Now, this guest house is in. The plumbing doesn't really work. The power is out all the time, like 12-hour stretches. On the TV, all propaganda. His interpreter said power was out a lot, but the interpreter was fine because he now had solar. So all these people in North Korea are getting solar power so they can deal with what we're dealing with in places like Texas. So Jeffrey was mostly alone.
Can you imagine being in a dark place with propaganda and TV all the time?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, I can't.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No.
Okay.
In early August, he was taken to a press conference. He tried to be positive because he knew his kids would see it. He wanted them to think everything was okay with him.
Mm-hmm.
They gave him talking points, which he forgot, and the interpreter had to tell him what to say.
So you're supposed to say that. Right.
Now, after that interview, they started preparing him for the next press conference, which was going to be on September 1st. And on that day, he was taken to a sports complex, and there were American reporters waiting for him. Jeffrey did not seem in good shape now.
Okay.
He stumbled over his words. Quote, there was a panic in his eyes.
Yeah.
He told CNN, quote, I'm getting desperate. Back home, the city manager told reporters if Jeffrey didn't come back soon, he was going to have to fire him.
Wow. That ought to do it. I mean, talk about leverage. Can you imagine?
I can't believe he still has his job.
I can't believe that guy gave that statement. Yeah, we might have to move on. By the way, even if he comes back, move on.
Yeah. Jeffrey was fired at the end of September.
Wow.
But they did say a job would be waiting for him if he returned.
Okay, so
if he wanted it.
Sure.
On October 21st, the interpreter came with Jeffrey's suitcases and started packing his stuff. In about 5 minutes, they were in the car. He was taken to a hotel conference room full of North Korean reporters. After 20 minutes, a military guy comes in and says, quote, the Supreme Leader and First Secretary of the Workers' Party, Kim Jong-un, has recommended that you be released. Jeffrey turns and starts babbling to this guy who's in a uniform about how much he appreciated.
Please tell him anything. I mean, I'll jerk him off, whatever he needs. I'm really just way in.
He's saying this to about Kim Jong-un. He's really awesome. I love it. And the guy's like, dude, I'm American. Shut the fuck up. Stop fucking talking.
He's a real dickhead, isn't he?
You can talk to me again on a plane, but shut your fucking mouth before you do something else.
Right.
So they take him out. They get him on the plane. There's a doctor.
Can I have an aisle seat? I hate to be that guy. I hate. It doesn't matter. I'm happy to be here. I just love. Sorry.
So there's a doctor on the plane, and he sits next to him, and I guess he asks Jeffrey some questions. And Jeffrey,
what brings you here? I created an international incident for being dumb.
Jeffrey tells him the problems he's been having, and then he pulls out the napkin with all the nail clippings and hair.
Can you do me a
and
favor?
hands it to the doctor.
Can you analyze these in your Coke? Is that possible?
For some reason, the doctor didn't want them.
Bing! Why'd you hit the stewardess? Why are you calling over the flight attendant? I'm not sure. I'll just take them back. Sorry. Gosh. Tell ya. Think you know a passenger.
Tanya brings all the kids to the airport. She doesn't tell the kids why,
Interesting.
right?
Well, I
No.
mean, here's what I would say. This whole thing is so damn crazy that if he's not there and you set the expectation that he is and he doesn't come because he's put himself in the dumbest situation possible, then that's even more trauma for him.
That's not why she did it.
Okay, go ahead.
Uh,
I forgot his name.
Tanya wanted to surprise her husband because, quote, I think Jeff likes surprises.
Oh, I don't know if he likes all surprises. I feel like there's some that maybe aren't great.
Yeah, but that's not a surprise for him. It's you're surprising the kids. What?
Yeah, also, yeah, right.
Yeah, he's not being surprised at his family. Okay.
Okay.
A army guy there said, quote, the children knew something was up when the airplane arrived and there were television cameras. So there's no surprise.
Yeah. So,
Cameras snapped pictures of his excited kids hugging him on the tarmac. A family attorney said they wanted to, quote, thank God for protecting Jeffrey during his 6 months in captivity.
so what's your read?
No!
What's your read?
No!
What's your read on this deity? Your read on this deity is what?
I can never get past this shit.
It's nuts.
I can never get past
It's nuts. It never fails. It never fails. You know what it reminds me of always is when you're like, hey, the climate is collapsing and we need to do stuff, and people are like, but you're talking about getting rid of a whole sector of jobs. And you're like, yeah, no, Earth will do that. That's
Yeah.
part of it.
People might be getting clued into that now, that the thing we've been talking about is if you don't change, then climate change is going to change you anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like whatever your knock list of values are, it's like, yeah, they don't exist without air.
So after a few months, his headaches went away, his vision improved.
You know, I feel like I should go back. Do it again.
2 Bibles.
Do it again.
The city gave him his job back.
Okay.
He joked to reporters that he wanted to go to Pakistan next.
I'm kidding.
His boss was not amused.
All right. Okay.
His new contract forbid him from traveling to dangerous places or he would be fired.
Fair clause.
The other 2 detainees were released 2 weeks after Jeffrey. Sony released the movie, The Interview, was then hacked and tons of their information released. The hackers discussed, quote, the movie of terrorism. Reflecting back on it, Jeffrey doesn't feel like his amazing Bible stunt had accomplished anything and that God must not have wanted him to succeed.
That's it? That's your takeaway?
Yeah.
He's mysterious. That's why you can't say the Lord works in mysterious ways. It's a cover for everything.
It's pretty bad.
It's like if an alcoholic, you'd be like, he works in mysterious ways. No, he's just drunk.
He's just a drunk guy.
God damn.
Like I said, this is mainly based on Holiday at the Dictator's Guest House by Joshua Hunt and Ed Davis Magazine. Also, the Journal newspaper from Hamilton, Ohio, and the Dayton Daily News from Dayton, Ohio.
I mean, that should be taught in church. That story. He should have a hymn. I mean, there's a biblical lesson in how not to operate, and the line between reality and your faith. You recognize,
It's just, well, it's this weird American arrogance that happens where he's like, I
And
can
religious
change so much.
arrogance.
And not just, because it's that thing where like, white guy looks at non-white people and goes, oh, I can really save them.
Well, I
Like,
don't think that's
can
ever
really...
happened, but keep going.
But the truth is, if you looked at that situation, you'd be like, oh, if there's Christians there, they have Bibles already. Like they've got them hidden away and they read them when they can safely. And this is a really fucking bad idea. They just drop it in a fucking shitter.
Well, yes, obviously not the smartest or most tactical move, but but it's also if a component of religion is to spread it everywhere,
Yeah.
then this is part of the bidding, and that's why when you see like there have all these stopgaps that used to be there to stop religion from permeating actual reality.
Yeah.
Like because the combination is toxic. But now they're not so much. And now it's way less. And now creationism gets taught. And, they're like, you don't want to teach critical race theory, but, let's teach the fact that, like, a man and a woman woke up in a garden. And they're the first two. Like, the reason is because it's called faith because you're allowed to have faith in it or you're allowed to not.
Yeah.
And so it's faith. So you're putting faith in this system that you believe in. And a lot of times reality is not able to penetrate faith, which is why we say we don't want it involved in institutions. If you want to go home, it's a lot like smoking weed. It's just like, if you want to smoke weed, you go do it at home. That's like was the rule forever. And everyone was like, okay, compliant with that. But religion, for some reason, you can fucking smoke it on every street corner and blow it in everyone's fucking face. Throw lit joints into cars, just be like, hey, Bible.
Wow.
Sorry.
Well, I'm a Christian, so this is
I know,
pretty hard to hear.
I know, it's horrible. I'm so
Pretty
sorry.
hard to hear.
I forgot about that part of it.
And I'm also Mormon.
Right. Well, Jeffrey was actually, not a lot of people know, he was Mormon.
He was
moron.
It's just you read stories about people that are just so dumb, and no one ever says they're dumb, but you're like, this is a dumb guy.
Literally should be taught in schools.
Yeah.
The story should take a day, teach the story in schools. Do what we just did.
Yeah.
Teach the story. It teaches you about manifest destiny. It teaches you about the religion. It teaches you about idiocy. It just shows you the power that lives inside the head of a white man.
Yeah. And man, you know,
inside his brain, he's He-Man. You imagine?
I would love to know where he lands with all the stuff that's going on now.
Like what? What do you mean?
Vaccines
good
and
Lord.
COVID and all that stuff. Because we're really living in a world of chaos due to stupid people.
Well, this is to what we were just talking about, and when I was saying you lose a sector of jobs to climate change. It's the same with this. When you say, the vaccine helps, and people go, you can still get COVID from if you have the vaccine.
Right.
It's like, right. So that argument has been totally put to bed, right? We understand and acknowledge that. What people experience pride about having it is that they're not going to die from it. But that you're just not able to machete through the jungle of nonsense and get and push actual reality through it. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work for part of our population.
And now we have so little trust in our government because the government has been completely obliterated over years in private industry that people don't believe in government that when the government says take a vaccine, people would rather go and find horse dewormer.
Or by the way, the horse dewormer is great. Or because you've never provided people free health care,
right.
They don't believe that they're ever going to get anything for free.
Right.
So that is one of the things that is really amazing about this time is the level of misinformation, but also the level of distrust, which comes from places where you actually can relate to and empathize. If you're brought up in places where people are constantly getting screwed by medical bills, or people get fucked by the medical system, or get screwed by the government. I mean, this is like most people. It is the government would have done themselves a much larger favor by not trying to fuck everyone for the last 50 years.
And look, there's another aspect of what's happening this week, which is I think a lot of people in New York and other places are like, oh, this is really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, this is actually, I didn't expect this. You didn't expect it, and now it's here. And that's one thing, but let me tell you something. For years, we've been slashing government, and so government's not building things, and you give it to private companies through contracts. So now you have a situation where the government's been slimmed down so much, and now you have to rebuild all these places in New York. Well, the problem is that people are going to profit off that. And when you have an entire segment of society that profits off climate change, you have a problem.
Yeah.
It's not just the fossil fuel makers. It's the guys who, now it's the people who make the bridges, the people who, you have a real fucking issue now. It's why privatization is really bad.
Yes, and why the idea that we are controlled by money and the goal is to get as much money as possible always is completely it's just not a sustainable goal.
It's not
So
sustainable.
we have this system that we live under that is where openly pretty much admitted that both of the parties that represent us in this country, both, are bought. So we keep going, well, I know the others, this side's crazy, and nobody's not acknowledging that the right is not totally fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
It's just that in lieu of them, because they left the Republican Party and went far right, the Democrats went to the Republican Party.
Yeah.
And now there's no left, and that is the only way to solve any of this stuff is to go in that direction. But people are so fearful of the far, far right part that they're willing to sit in the middle right part because it's less terrible. And in neither one are you ever actually given or granted a fucking thing.
And unfortunately, with climate change, you're going to go right unless you address it. That will lead to authoritarianism.
Totally. Yes, it's.
How are you going to fight? How are you going to fight? How are you going to maintain our society if there's 4 of these floods a year in New York City and 4 of these hurricanes in Louisiana and these fire? If they're all going on at once, how are you going to be able to fund anything? How are you going to be able to do anything? That's what we're facing. Like, you have to sort of realize, like, the reason you need a Green New Deal is because if you don't, it's going to be a really bad black deal.
Yeah, it's selfish. It's selfish.
Yeah.
It is totally. It's what people should want. People should absolutely. It should be the only thing you fucking give a shit about right now.
And the Democrats, look, Biden is saying he's, the IPC report comes out and he says, well, yeah, we got to do something. It's the thing.
Yeah.
And 3 days later, he's literally telling OPEC to drill, and
bring down oil
and he's
prices.
saying he's giving out leases all over the place, and you're like, yeah, it's not. You can't talk out of one side of your face and then do the opposite. We don't have those options. It's not an option. It's not a.
Yeah, no, it's. Again, and especially what you're looking down the barrel, like, look, revolutions start very quickly. So it's not like, so you can be like, oh, okay, like, it looks like you can be defeatist, and it's understandable. But, the problem is that these two parties, really the duopoly, is so controlled by companies. Even when I'm fucking rambling, but that you see that the BP interview with that dude that got released, where the guy worked for BP, and it was Project Veritas. They did the undercover interview with this Exxon guy, and he's basically letting it rip because he thinks he's applying for a job and another job, and he's basically saying, like, yeah, no, the whole thing we're supposed to do is to convince people that we are trying to change things, and then we really don't do anything, and then the clock runs out on that, and then you have a new administration, and it's a really good plan. If your plan is to fucking ruin everything and make all the money, it's a really good plan. Yeah. And that's what they have, is a really, really good plan. And then the people, us, we don't have the plan. We don't have the power to have the plan. So until you actually get in people who are like, fuck this system, and again, they don't exist in either of these fucking parties, unfortunately, it's just going to be more of the same, and it's never going to change. And the only thing that you can feel better about is that there's a worse party, and that's how they both survive.
Well,
they both survive by saying you don't want the other one. They promise nothing. There's no offerings.
A great example is, Texas making abortion illegal, and then, the Democrats' first response is to send out fundraising emails.
Yes.
there are things that the party could do. They could,
or the housing crisis.
They have control of all 3 branches of government, so they could do
that's
stuff.
why,
but then everyone yells at, like, well, Ralph Nader, and you're like, you have control of all 3 branches of government. Like,
yes, you blame not being able to put $15 minimum wage, a thing that is enormously popular, on the Senate parliamentarian, a position that most people hadn't heard of. It's basically, you were just like, we have the numbers, but there's a Senate wizard we didn't know about. And you're like, wait, what? It's like, the wizard said no. It's like, wait, who the fuck? An unelected wizard denied it.
Yeah, and tell people, like, instead of screaming at the people who voted wrong, if you instead screamed at your actual party who was not doing enough with climate and everything else, and I'm sorry, and also, the abortion issue, they haven't done enough. They're not.
They scapegoat.
They scapegoat.
They made it. They made it so that they. That's the same thing with the eviction moratorium. The way that they played that, like, oopsie poopsie, who did this? It's like, get a fucking head of it. Do you want to be reelected? Because you certainly aren't operating like you do.
But
and then that makes you go, why do they not give a fuck?
Well, they operate like
Money. They
Yeah.
want to make all the money. And they will.
and they know you have a gun to your head because if you don't vote for them, it's fucking Gilead, right?
And the worse it gets, the easier it is to just pit people right against each other or right against. It's like, I mean, I think this all the goddamn time. Like, it is, people have so much trouble understanding a Trump supporter. And I agree. It is a baffling position.
Oh.
However, when I think about who do I have more in common with, someone who feels like the country has left them, feels like they're not secure financially, are worried about their own situation. I relate to that a lot more than being someone who has $120 million fucking dollars in the bank.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are people who, like, you know, go to grocery stores, know how things operate. And I just think they've done a magnificent job of boiling us to enemy status with each other, when in reality, you know the enemy, and they're the ones who have all the fucking money.
Yeah, they have all the money.
And they're just going to take it all
Yep.
and burn everything and let everything burn.
That's how it appears.
And they just have no fucking, like, their plan is to just, like, January 6th, they're going to be like, boy, that was really just, that was a match. And now everything's on fire. Like, it's just, I just don't get it. Like, I mean, they've militarized the police force. They've militarized the military. We get it. They got fucking tanks. But at some point, people are going to want water.
Yeah.
And they're going to fucking go crazy.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
So we'll be at Denver, September 16th, Paramount Theater. Checking out the Dollop.
Guys, I hate to interrupt this, but I do have a picture of a dried fish bouquet.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Let's
Go,
see it.
baby, go.
Oh my
fuck.
God. What?
It's like ceviche bouquet.
What is happening?
Shrimps, sardines.
That is crazy. There's nuts in there.
I think there's nuts in the head of the person who bought it too.
And salami.
That's right. Yeah. See, it's very much like a
Oh my God.
charcuterie.
What a crazy world we live in.
Yep. All right, everybody. By the way, I've been signing cars lately, so we're back. We're back. Bye-bye.